Alright, ladies and gentlemen. No intro, let's just continue where we left off in the last episode. We got Hifumi and Mr. Leader Compass over here died. I'm trying to find the location of the bodies. Alright, well, we're just moving on. I'm gonna head upstairs. That's upstairs. That's Is there anything in here that's very related to the case? Nope. Honestly. I mean, I already saw all the hammers. Or so confusing. Okay, fine. Is there anything in the classroom?
Come on.
Why are you standing there? I mean,
Indeed.
when you talk about it, it's been hidden in the puzzle.
Goodbye.
I've already told you. Why is it in the puzzle? What else is the repository? Is it in the laboratory? Physics lab. Oh, the repository. Okay. Is it in the repository? Okay, I get it. Where the hell is it in the repository? Alright, give me up. Are the bodies here somewhere? Oh, yeah. I'm headed to the repository. Go down there. This is a lot. I have no choice but to go outside. So I opened the door. And when I entered, I saw both the bodies have been dragged here. The two bodies I discovered were right here, right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was the unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for the second time. Ding dong, ding dong.
A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
Hmm.
And so here we are.
It's
Without further
the
ado, let me give you all the next
monocola
I was gonna hand them out when you found the bodies for the first time, but I thought something might happen.
What?
It's really hard to resist, but it turns out I was right.
Stop talking.
Just hand it over already.
Punishment
Now,
is
make
waiting
sure to
for
investigate all
you.
your mental might and prepare for the class trial.
See ya
Okay, see you
later.
Hmm.
Well then, now we found the bodies. All that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How could he be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead, gone forever. They're never coming back. Awful, this is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why?
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 Large wet tears fell from her eyes. The tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If there was some world of make-believe, that might have been what Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. It's real life. Wait, what? This wasn't...
He's alive again? Where am I? Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Hifumi! Wake up!
Huh? Ah, that's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
I remember everything. Before I met you all. I met you all.
His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
Ah, the light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
That's a hero. Oh, his eyes closed. And they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolutely undeniable death. No matter how many more Hina's tears splash his face, there is no more second miracle. Reality set in again. This is some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now it's getting to become exceedingly boring. You say Yushihiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Adakura. That's the only person you could have been referring to.
So, in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Rifumi. They're going so as far as to hide their bodies. The criminal has his face behind a mask and uses a giant wooden hammer. Is that what Hero is?
What is this?
Sure, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends.
that's fine.
Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit and our little life or death game. Although it's not all that life or death. Probably include without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through it to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. Investigation. First, I better check with the Monokuma file. Victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's
Very
That's
strange.
pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened in the Monokuma trial clip anyway. Maybe.
Well,
There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. We're talking about Kyoko.
perhaps.
Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Ikumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here? Don't be
Monokuma
rude. I'm here to answer your
appears!
question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first pastime?
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together. but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So then,
You're saying nobody works together this time either?
hey,
Sorry, I can't answer that. We will instruct a free exchange of information between you guys. I don't want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder.
Phew.
Only one black can graduate, and accomplice gets nothing.
So, in other
So
words,
then we only need to figure out who that one black did the killing, right? Just like normal.
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is one true
extreme!
black who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true black is just one person.
Well now.
That's not so more explanation. Now time is now doubt to fight a battle between all of you and the Blacken. So there can be only one Blacken, and accomplice wouldn't benefit. And I can't see any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. Maybe, right? That shouldn't. Kyoko, where are you?
however,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. For the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
No. Don't you think you should consider someone a suspect just in case? Tell me about the murder scene, and like that.
What?
I'm offended.
Oh.
Yeah! You, what did you? I've been looking all over for you, Master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found.
You SOB!
Anyway, you there, milk sack swarm girl.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding!
Why do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know. He's right about that. When we heard Fumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still laying unconsciousness in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body is aside. I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move with Fumi's body.
Yep.
Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not gonna kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
Not that the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, we should post a guard by the body like before. We can't have them disappearing again.
so then,
Ian and I can handle them. You don't mind, do you? Sure. I'll be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
it's all clear now.
And that's that. Let's begin. This is the whole thing so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's gonna be as straightforward as it seems. Monokuma file number 3 has been added to the truth bow 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 section of the handbook. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, although some are more like mallets. Mallets? Basically, the justice hammers have been designed using these as model. Either way, all the hammers have here have obviously seen a lot of use. All covered in debris and coffee stone powder. Wait, for some reason this one hammer isn't dirty at all. It's wet. Did someone wash it recently? Spotless hammer has been added to the truth bow 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 section of the handbook. Hold up. I'm still figuring out. There we go. And the dolly doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move the statues. It's kind of awkward to be bent down, but it's not too hard to move. Oh, but wait. Wasn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at the wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for that? The repository dolly has been added to the truth bow bow section of the handbook. They always Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Malcolm file, Taka died from a blow to the head. We found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room. Is that what was used to kill him? And there's a tarp laid out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. Blue tarp has been added to the truth bow 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 section of the handbook. Nafumi's big cold body is laying on the floor. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? In the nurse's office, he was discovered with here. Repository. All the way from the first one and third. Oh, not anyone noticing. I don't know. It's no good. I don't get it. I can think about it later. Now I have to finish investigating Hifumi. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. I come just the camera through, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Oh wait, something's off about his body. I'm getting this feeling. Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. And now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? Who would do that and why? Hifumi's glasses have been added to the truth. Bow bow bow! Section of the handbook. Miyako, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. And the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened. Each one of us had an alibi. And lastly, Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
So, in other words,
And there is no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, how would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happens, he'd be safe as long as his face is covered. Because he's the fool of the century, and he is kind of dumb. Do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
what?
And that's it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the body? You probably figured that if you couldn't find the body, you couldn't complete our investigation. If that's the case, we found the body pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did they bother killing two people?
What?
What? Because all the rule says is you can kill someone and get away with things. You graduate, right? So if you're the killer, remember one priority is not getting caught. So killing two people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on, perhaps. I see. That's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with the attitude? Well, you have my appreciation.
Goodbye.
Next to you, I'm gonna have something fun with this after. The mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked to Peace, figure something out. But if he did, would it have killed him? Tell me what it was. There are many aspects to the incident this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So
Would
then.
you like my help? Sure. Yeah, let's look back. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Nino, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for it. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. As soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Nina and Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor. Then quickly, Nina found Celeste in the rec room on the 5th floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was detected by a suspicious individual named unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was back an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in the same costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costume assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him down to the nurse's office in the 1st floor and resumed our search. But not long after leaving the nurse's office, what's wrong? I saw something moving around the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back to the 2nd floor. We split up and began searching. And right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? I was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down the hallway and disappeared. And then... Huh? Oh, what was that? I came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. Back, come on, we have to go back. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect on the 3rd floor. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we heard the body discovered announcement plate. left Celeste and Hino alone headed back to the third floor to tell others what had happened.
However,
At the same time, we discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember hearing the body of his cousin Nathan play right after Tommy Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi has been killed, right? And you and me and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. And as soon as we left the Sisters Lab, we ran into Celeste, who had just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. And we remembered, we all had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something? This time, Taka's body had disappeared. So from there, we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us where she found the bodies, and we were all headed to the repository. And there, we discovered the two bodies that had apparently vanished. And that brings us up to now.
however,
Looking back at things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back at the case again, just let me know. I'm fine anytime.
So,
Hey, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. What is it? After Fumi Taki's body disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together.
But
We came right into the repository, to look around. And when we got there, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? We came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could beat us in. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? Someone did the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, and now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in it. We'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Okay, cool. Is that everything? Pretty sure that's everything, right? That's everything. One way in and out of the room. There was a door that he had said that I was locked before. There's definitely locking the door, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to lock it from the The door can only be locked from the inside of the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for missing bodies. And the door is designed that can only be locked from the inside of the repository. In other words, when he checked that someone already gone into the repository and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and that's why it's unlocked now. And Hina claims there's no way someone could have used them to the repository. So that's saying something. The repository door has been added to the truth. Pow pow pow! Section of the handbook. There's gotta be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are places I already know about. First, the nurse's office is Hifumi found in the equipment room in Taka's stack. The repository? Yes, we're leaving the area. Alright, first things first, let's check the record real quick. Gotta look at all the names. Unless what she really typed is just number 1. But what the heck was with this thing? Okay. Nothing here, I guess. Other directions. I gotta see what's in the physics lab first. Big pool of blood, and then this tarp is good. Oh, this tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before, and just recently too. Yeah, some kind of mark going through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me of how the dolly of the repository. There was blood on this tire. Could that be blood have come from here? Assuming that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Those rooms on the first floor outside should definitely have been Taka's. The equipment room listing has been added to the truth. Pow 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 pow! But even the dolly was to move Taka's body. What about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the first floor. Even with the dolly, but someone get up the third floor. Still pulling this. That's still pulling this. still talking. Body was moved, but the murder weapon was left. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away.
What?
I missed such an ultimately rare event. Leave the equipment room. Leave this room too. Now let's head to the nurse's office. This is a whole adventure. Alright, let's head downstairs. This is the swimming pool area. Alright, the nurse's office. Oh, so that's Londonburg right here. This is number 3, the one that was used to kill Fumi. Someone moved the body but the left it up on jetpack. Where's the fridge? Oh, here it is. A refrigerator. Was there anything you could drink inside? After everything I've been through, Kelly's heart, maybe a cookie. There's a bunch of blood packets in here. Blood transfusions, I guess. Really help me. No, I'm not a vampire. Oh, come on. What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I'm simply going around seeing if the hero might be hiding from me. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. Main thing on my mind is how someone could move Hukumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hukumi was moved, eh? It's here, you're supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes,
Correct.
indeed.
Not cleaning well, so stay behind to look after. She seemed to be getting worse as she took to the bathroom. When we got back, body was gone. Nothing for more than a minute or two. Maybe it's the same. But when the crew was able to get in and move Hukumi's body in that short amount of time.
Indeed.
Well, it seems so. To carry off someone as big as Hukumi in only a couple minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. So this account has been added to the True Bow 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 section of the handbook. Oh, the trash bin. Hold on. It's just a normal trash bin. Huh? Wait, there's something inside. Too small to be hateful. The glass is thin. That's some kind of cartoon character. Wow. But this is also covered in blood.
Oh,
Oh, did you find something? Yeah, there's a clean cloth in the trash can.
huh?
Clean cloth? It's all bloody. Where would this belong to that? Use to wipe up the blood. We wouldn't need to do something like that. But I've decided to do it. Me neither, but I think this might be important. Glasses clean cloth is added to the True Bow 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 section of the handbook. And what else we gotta investigate? Is that seriously everything that's interesting? I guess that's really everything to investigate. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. Is that? I want to thank you for what you did. Not that you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero Room. Oh, yeah, let me give you this. Meet in the dining hall. This is the No Hero Road to get calls to meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship was pretty remarkable, so I left it an impression.
It's all clear
Anyway,
now.
This makes it clear, right? This is crap. What is? Things grow even more exciting. What are you talking about? I already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Bye. Yashihiro's message has been added to the Truth Bow 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 section of the handbook. So he said to go to Hero's Room, but they're waiting for me there. Okay, I get. Let's just go. What's in here? guess I can go inside. Yaku did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. There's zero food. All kind of weird stuff in here. Maybe you can get it all. Don't tell me. You have to know every time. What's with the boxes? I think there's something in the cardboard box. There's something in something there. Looks like cardboard, plastic, and plastic. Is it Robo Justice? Hero's room? Oh wait, blueprints. Something about them bothers me. Robo Justice blueprints have been added to the truth. Bow bow bow! Section of the handbook. What else we got in the investigation? Is that really it? Tell me see check it out. There's nothing in here. Okay, that's disgusting. You disgust me. The bed. Alright, I guess that's it. Yep. Oh, big news, big news. What's wrong? From Kyoko. What? She okay? Where is she? Yeah, I wasn't done. There's more big news.
Just a second.
Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? Hero wearing the costume.
Okay.
Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool in the second floor. Alright, let's go. Go, 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 go. Head to the pool. Kyoko and
I mean...
you, man, have had the worst day. Hero? Hero?
Huh? Oh, hey,
yes.
Makoto.
Yeah, dude. Who else would I be? That's a good question.
Huh?
What? Why do I look like this? Did someone come along and remodel me while I was sleeping? Is it the Illuminati? Hey, Brody.
Huh?
Did the Illuminati come along and remodel me in my sleep? Apparently, the ridiculous object is Hero. I like to ask questions for details of how you.
Right.
I found Hero. He was jammed into the pool in the pool room locker. Okay, he was about to sleep. I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be
I can't
mean.
believe you kicked me. You could have been a little bit more gentle with my fight. I don't know. Brush my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all this time without a trace.
Well,
There's something I have to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind.
it's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think that she might be spying for me? That's mine.
and?
First of all, Hero, you need to explain to us why you're dressed like that.
I mean...
Oh yeah. Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep. I don't even know how that happened. Then I woke up and then I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. Maybe just to look at it.
Huh?
Well,
Let me out of here!
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something that can't take off by yourself?
You got it all
I didn't make
wrong!
the stupid freaking thing.
It would seem...
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty serious. I don't think you get it off on your own. You really have a choice of help. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hero out of the prison. Free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hero?
So
What's the
then,
point? But nobody but Hero would be able to fit that costume. What? Hold on a second.
honestly,
Nobody trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
In other words, it's obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it
So it's
be...
obvious. The one who put this costume on and went around attacking her.
That's
Hero.
terrible!
Probably tie him up and gag him.
Just the worst.
Good idea. I wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up! Hold on, guys. I think this is going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, blueprints. I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided. You killed him. What? Kill who? I have no idea what he's talking about. It must be a fake Hero running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume. Or who else could possibly be the costume attacker?
What the heck?
How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine, if you're gonna be a jerk about it, I will. If I'm missing a bit, Hina started putting on the Robo Justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me!
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Hmm?
I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
In a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuse. Because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then Makoto, go ahead. Okay. I guess my well pick up the piece of sword and try to put it on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear it.
Just a second.
Yeah, I told you it was impossible. You're absolutely right. It seems like this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But...
And then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same to fit them.
Honestly.
You insist on this line of defense and show us another.
what the heck?
You claim there's another suit, yes, and you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the
Okay,
worst.
Hero's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean,
What?
is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Can someone, like, tell me? Robot Justice costume has been added to the truth. Bow, bow, bow section of the handbook.
What the
If
heck?
you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, two people were killed. Taka and Hifumi.
What?
Two people?
Just the
Why are you
worst.
freaking out? You did it.
Wait.
I did not.
Huh?
Wait, hold on. Those two are the ones that were killed.
How about
That's it.
that?
I know who did it.
So
May
then,
as well tell us then.
Hmm.
Dr. Hifumi were pointing over Alter Ego, right?
I'm at least 30% right.
Shiro must have done it.
correct.
I see that's important.
What the
Don't
heck?
try to trick us. This is me that you did it, okay? You got it all wrong.
Oh,
Oh, I know.
so...
No.
Uh,
Last night someone stuck a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Marakumi can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet at the rec room at 1 a.m. Last thing I remember is going to the rec room for some reason. Then for some reason I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real killer probably drugged me or something.
Just the
Not a
worst.
chance. No, hold
So,
on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office would have chemicals that could do that.
Huh?
Huh? Really? Someone's trying to set me up. Secret passage is a chance to escape. Someone wrote all that to trick me.
Ah.
Even if that's true, you must be the one dumb fish to bite every piece of tape that floats around you. Funny. Trapped here for so long. Even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? Yeah. They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me.
Ah.
I still don't lie.
Don't be
But you should
mean.
buy it.
Just a
Okay,
second.
then show us that note.
Hmm.
It's a pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No
I
way.
lost it.
Ah.
Yeah, sure.
Please.
You gotta believe me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck? You serious? Yashihiro's account has been added to the truth section of the handbook. Now then, should we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? You already know who did it.
What the heck?
Why did you kill them? Tell us, Hiro. Like I said,
Just the worst.
to get the money Monokuma offered us. Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broke, and that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me.
What are you saying?
Be thankful we haven't bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? Right, I need to look for a second to that note. Don't tell me now. I guess I better go get back to guard duty. I was gonna ask Toko or Genocide Jack to switch with me. She and Sakura got into a fight, but yeah, that should be in my hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone healed away.
Makoto,
You have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with this investigation.
it would seem...
Looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Then when you have time, can you tell me why you disappeared?
Why is that?
No. You reject me so simply.
Anyway,
I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
shall we go?
Thanks. Now, then, shall we?
Hey,
So, Makoto, at first I'd like to examine the corpses. Examine the corpses? I can't believe I'm hearing that from the girls the same age as me.
correct.
Dead bodies online, you know. They tell you the truth far more easily than living.
Hey,
And you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
anyway,
Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins. Yeah, you're right. Okay, then, you're seeing where the bodies are. End of repository. I guess we head that way for now. Oh, Christ. All this back and forth is gonna give me a headache. Quite literally and figuratively. Fumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid. Only for a moment.
So then,
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding the body.
I knew it.
The Monokuma was right. Right, they were two using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth and she was so calm. See how comfortable she actually made me feel a little bit more.
I see.
Dakota, I found something. You did?
Hey,
You remember the wrist rod Taka always wore on his left hand? You did?
whew.
Are you so oblivious to the people around you? Dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Wait, you said you had to watch.
So
Take a
then,
look. It's broken. You can't see the hands aren't moving, right? It's most likely broken. And they had a found it with his assailant. You noticed the hands were frozen just past 6 o'clock. That would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
that's right.
And last night Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you, how long are you gonna keep us waiting? Dude, Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he started pointing me at his wristwatch. It's almost 9 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime is for all the little boys and girls.
In other words,
So if it worked 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning it must have happened at 6 this morning. Broken wristwatch has been added to truth truth section of the handbook.
however,
And that's not all. Take a look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in it.
Makoto,
You try to pry it out. Me?
because
Rigor Mortis has already said in boys are better suited to this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. Much as I didn't want to grab Taka's cold hand. The ice cold hand was really enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to see the object from a tightly clenched piece of paper.
hey,
Is that all he had in his hand? And that's it. Little scrap of paper doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that
I
right?
wonder about that. Kyoko turned to Rufumi's body.
So
Let's
then,
check Rufumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. Kyoko's scrap of paper has been added to the truth section of the handbook. The biggest problem I have now. Okay. No. Okay, I get it. So did you find anything?
Indeed.
I did more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper?
that's right.
He had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He stuffed it in his pants. I'm not really sure if he had hidden it on purpose. His pants. So wait, you
Why is that?
It's just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyways, take a look at the paper. Go ahead. I'm going to open it up. When I think about how it's stuffed down in his pants, it's like, it better be informed for me or I'll never forgive you for this. A note. I found a hole maybe you can use to escape. Monica can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet in the living room after dinner.
so,
That sounds very familiar. That's it. That's the same thing Hiro said. Then he was telling us the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same. Last night someone slipped a weird nut under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monica can't find out without telling anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m. The time is different. Hiro told us in his note said to meet at 1 a.m. But the note Rufumi asked to meet at that escape.
is that right?
Just because Rufumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So,
There's a turn off, right? I think there's some meaning there. It's a meaning to part. Is it being ripped? Could you maybe explain it a little bit more? Think carefully.
hey,
How would he been clutching that cardboard paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. The note Hifumi had been added to the truth section of the handbook.
hey,
And while you're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had their handbooks on them. The handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to killings in the first place. They're saying I don't have to think about the handbook this time, right?
Is that
I
right?
don't have to think about them at all. I wouldn't have gone out of my way for this. All I said they weren't used to help carry out murder. They may come to a point, however, where handbook may play a role. Handbook may play a role, I don't think I understand. If Kyoko thinks it's important, but it couldn't mind. E-handbook has been added to the truth bow section of the handbook. Ding dong ding dong. Up, it's class trial time!
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin! Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon.
Oh god.
It would
It's
seem.
unfortunate, but suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You have to figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better be going. Okay. Well, flash trial number 3 or 4. Actually, hold on. Yes. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. As soon as we were all there.
Monokuma
Hello,
appears!
hello, hello. He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Multiplication. It looks that way because you're just illusion. I'm moving so fast and it looks like I multiplied. Yeah, can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma?
Whew.
Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy,
You're not
tough
playing
crowd.
long.
Stop
I'm not
talking.
here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
And if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we? I'm
Please!
not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away from anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the
I
heck?
told you already, I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me, did you ever find that other costume for them note? No, but unfortunately, it seems we have our culprit.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
He's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taki get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for those and the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one who killed 2 of her friends. The killer is someone right here. Ah, they just go. Alright, this is just enough yapping. The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Clunking, the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up into a cruel fate. When I see you all gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. The school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cool things to each other?
What?
Oh, why? You really hate me so much, but I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, of course I'm gonna start it. Would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial right after this commercial break. I never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get your assigned seats. So the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, deadly defense, deadly faith, deadly class trial. Let's open the e-handbook. Let's look at the evidence that we have. We got Monokuma file, tarp, the dolly, the glasses, the spotless hammer, the door, the bloodstain, the cloth, Celeste account, Yoshiro's message, the blueprints, the costume, Yahiro's account, broken wristwatch, scrap of paper, the note Hifumi had, and the handbooks. Alright. Really? I can actually use it? drop. Sure, screw it. Finish preparations. We got this. Trial. I don't even know how this skill works, so...
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the result. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one,
then we all die.
then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Yep.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Okay.
Was that?
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Make the argument. You Hiro's message.
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Oh, okay. I mean, looking at the blueprints, the handwriting is awfully messy. I remember last night he was writing his...
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Okay. Hold on.
I don't know anything about that. It's not true. It's a
Hiro, why?
No, just hold on a second.
Okay, remember who was writing it.
Everything we found in your room, the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof.
Got him.
No, that's wrong.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course, he passed it off to me.
So?
The suspicious individual in question. It's Hiro.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Things you use in the product value.
I got it!
There we go. There's still one more thing. The things that you use to make Taka's body must have been.
I got it!
There you go. The tarp and the
They
dog.
were a dolly and a tarp, right?
With the attitude.
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway. We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Around, sometimes will be something. Absolutely. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next true bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. Bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo market, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there really hasn't been a limit in how and can destroy your opponent's statement. From now on, just locking it on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. Now it costs you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by using the X button. Just like locking on, you have to press the X button with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember the X button now has a function along with the A and Y buttons. You automatically reload it to start the fever time, and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action's difficult to set to death, you won't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. So then, good luck and have fun. The moment of truth. Hold on.
You have it wrong! I cannot agree! You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you! You miserable wretch!
Hold on.
I cannot agree.
Wait, hold on. Finally got you.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Yeah, screw out of here. Unless it really hit me that much.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look how the body was moved, it's clear why the person in the suit could have done it. What does he mean by that? And how the suit performed. That's not how the suit performed. I mean, you know what? Fair enough. Nobody else is costume.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room, and from there, the body was moved.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it up.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Shoot!
Hold on. We got it. Hold on.
As we know,
Taka was killed, and from there.
Yeah, then loaded it on.
now, keep in mind that the dolly...
Well, yeah. All you'd have to do is bend over.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
Nope. It's impossible.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in the suit. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, I feel like I can't bend over at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
There's absolutely no chance because you can't take it off by
I
yourself.
got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
Yeah, I've been almost up with this thing. I can't actually get it off. I'm gonna help. Why would you make something that you can't take it off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing. There's a class on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. You don't really have a choice of shelter.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How do you get hurt? That guy hit me. That's how I call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, Let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? It's not a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
What's wrong? I was rather intense scream. I'm the same confident as soon as I screamed. It was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Huh? What was that? He came downstairs, must have been for me. He's in the nurse's office. Let's back, come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions to what happened to Taka. Once I uncover the truth of this case, I have to find him no matter what. I got this. You got this, chat. You got this. I'm gonna file number 3.
So, I wonder if he died before or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the justice hammers.
Okay.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with just while Taka's death came.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Just time is the number, but are they really using that word?
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order the Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
This time is the number, but are they using that
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
word? Ah, damn it.
Shoot!
Hold on.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he.
Oh, let me see it. Goes ahead, goes through with the similar weapon. Okay.
Or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi while Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Or are they really using it?
So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
Shoot!
So, regarding Taka's I wonder if he died before,
Or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with while Taka's death came.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
They're really using that word.
so,
Regarding, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed while Taka.
See? So it's obvious Taka came.
so, regarding I wonder if he, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was while Taka.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So,
Regarding Taka's, I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say?
Because of the numbering of the Justice.
No, that's wrong. Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
I refuse to give up yet!
Nah, we got this. We're locked. We got this. We got it. We got it. We're locked.
Now I understand.
We're locked.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night,
Hey, you. How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced through the air when we started pointing at you know that time's for all little boys and girls.
so if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yeah, What was that? I came from downstairs. He's in the nurse's office. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
Yeah, Kyoko.
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
It could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. We couldn't able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. But it seems so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the 3rd in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, What if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
No!
No,
Another
go.
ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Idea Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible? Oh, we got this. We're locked. Because of the... Okay, go through this rock.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovered. Hifumi's dead body had been found, and that is why the...
Are we really so? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh. Okay, body discovered announcements only made once. When we talk about body discovered announcement was back at the same time.
Are you saying that when we first...
Hold on.
There's a chance he was actually still...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body Hifumi's dead body, and that is why the...
Are we really so? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first... There's a chance he was at...
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body discovery of Hifumi's dead body had been...
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. Huh? He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice. I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies. It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Well, here's one thing. The first time we found Hifumi, and then his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw it was in the...
But when you compare his body before being...
Other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
No, that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was... Princess Piggles. From Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead... What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has... You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time? Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to me?
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok! Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was in must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to
6 a.m.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing! In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
Oh, we got this. We got this. We got this in the bag.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
Oh, we got this in the bag.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammer? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
Weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. Pictures running this case. I found the weapon, bro. It's a clean mallet. Spotless hammer.
What was used to kill? Was it Justice? Maybe Justice Hammer.
well, but there's one thing. How was the culprit able to... How did nobody witness them?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com.
Well, one thing, the murder weapon had to be one of the Justice, and, that's about it.
Hifumi was killed in the repository, right? So the weapon was used to kill both of them. They're actually similar. Hold on.
What was used
To kill, was it Justice? Maybe Justice.
Well, there's one... How was the culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, the murder weapon had to be one of the...
There you go.
No, that's wrong.
We got it. We got it in the bag.
The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, There is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Hold on. So they worked together, then murdered, and then they killed the murderer. What the hell? What the hell? I'm sorry.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply...
That is how the rule...
But that only really applies in this case, however. There were 2 murders.
Hold on. Oh, we got this. Nah, we got this in the bag. Oh, we got this in the bag, though.
Even if more than one, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true. It is...
That is how the...
But that only really applies in this case, however. There were 2 murders.
Damn it.
Based on the rules, even if more than one, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
That is how the...
But that only really applies in this case, however. There were 2 murders.
Alright, we got it. We got the bullet.
Based on the rules that have been laid out, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true. It is simply impossible
that 2 people work together.
Got him.
No, that's wrong.
Then why is there 2 murders then?
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been 1 murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only 1 person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
Oh, we're cooking.
By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
I was 2 main characteristics. People must have known that the fact from the very beginning. That's why she said not to. Because a series of connected events that entirely separate incidents. Kyoko's really amazing. Although, think about it, she's almost too amazing. It's like almost unnatural how good she is.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In debates up till now, the way the case is consider all that, there's only one person who seems to fit. Oh, I know it. Hold on, where is it at?
Here's my answer.
Celeste. Yeah, we got him.
It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying then is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Indeed.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that...
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Oh, we got this. What's the only thing with me? That's not in common.
I got it!
Encountering the suspicious individual.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush, the adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
This was wrong. That was rather intense scream for someone like me. When I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down to the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
What was that? He came from downstairs. That must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is back. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
And why don't we split up into two groups? I lead the hunting party. This seems much more interesting. Very well, Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll lead the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
What the hell?
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine her being murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
Oh, she's cooked.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
You must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around fighting. We're all gonna die here. We're all gonna die just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
Oh my god, bro.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Yeah, Celeste Londonberg. Byakuya said that Celeste's comment doesn't make any sense. But what is he alluding to? Oh, hold on. We cooking.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
Enjoying the sight of us. They must be. Plus, we are all going to die. We are going to die. And that is all I.
And that's all it takes. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oh, we got this.
All I said, they must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. Plus, we are all going to die. We are going to die.
Just
got him.
no, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Okay. God damn it.
Imaginations.
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took?
No.
How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on, and...
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly... Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanation? It wasn't a picture of the dragging the Hifumi away. The only possibility is
I got it!
Hifumi's been dragging the suspect away.
It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Unless thinks he can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. Was that really possible? Make your argument.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight. You tried to make me look like the bad guy.
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, the suspect, if the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Then the fortune-telling idiot is...
No way!
Hold on. Hina said... Hold on. Hina. What did... Oh, yeah. You can bend the waist.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out. Then you just draped me across. You tried to make me look like the...
Like I said, as you can see in the picture, if the person inside the suit, there's no way they could...
Nope. Get out of here.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You clearly can't bend in the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Way back in the credit Hifumi? That's why I remember the name. Hero.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not?
Hey, miss, you've been a...
He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually... Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more...
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Last name.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say?
To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Fine. Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Just won't still give up. So then I have to do something to make her accept it. Oh, she's close.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste.
how many times Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to go on?
I'm not pretending, and since you have no way to contradict me,
Hold on.
Shoot!
Hold on. Let me cook.
Hifumi was trying. He wanted us to know the killer. If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what you're...
how many times Celestia Ludenberg!
How long do you plan to...
I'm not pretending, and
Hold on.
since you have no way to...
Ah, you saw that?
That's it! The handbook!
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to open the school after the rules. When you start out, you just wing your name. Make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It's anything you can tonight.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Okay.
Fine then. Let me settle it.
Oh, we got it.
Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Oh, that's a violation. Hold on, this is a violation. Hold on. Oh, God. Okay, this is just to throw you off. Some of the stuff is like fake hints, so it's whatever. We got the photo. And then we got, God damn it. There it is. And murder! They committed murder! They committed murder! committed murder. Yeah, that's there, 100%. And then, yep, he's definitely pushing. Where is it? There we go. I'm pretty sure he walks on his own. And he walks on his own. Stop freaking. Actually, hold on. Nah, she's like, got away. And what else? We got the watch there, we got the photo there. Right there. And then number 3. Hold on. Oh wait, never mind. It was like number 2. Out the way. And then this was Justice Hammer 3. Alright, we got it.
The killer is you!
We got it.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes.
Oh, we got this. Time.
First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Oh, he did.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these two incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But
this is a very interesting plot.
While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste Lundenberg.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
We got it, baby! We got it!
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote.
Yes!
And when the votes are tallied,
Yes!
who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Come on, get us the guilty verdict. Yeah, guilty! Guilty as charged. You deserve it, Celeste. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The Blackened this time, the true killer who devised this whole stinking scheme was Celeste Lundenberg, or more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Ifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So we really did approach Ifumi with this plan. How did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would happily agree to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality, lying. My speciality? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Did you use, you know? I need to figure out Kyoko. You're absolutely right. Get Hifumi to act as my accomplice.
Indeed.
I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but there was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... Oh, she's talking about her.
Say what?
What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here.
In other words,
And you're the one that stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you dragged Hifumi to the plan you come with. Right again. Last night, after I had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here? I
Actually,
was hoping you could talk to you alone. It's what about what was stolen? I know who did it.
What?
What?
are you okay
It was
with
Taka.
this?
He stole it. What?
So
Now, proof. Would
then,
you like to see it? As it turned out, I found a use for a digital camera. We've taken, you know, what to Taka's room earlier, and we took pictures of it there. I cleared the pictures as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
Yeah, so it was him. How did he do it? She was supposed to yell. Either of us got close to her. You are correct, because Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
as for
Please
me,
forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did?
as for
He
me,
came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
What? And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
Crime, an absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but
Say
I never
what?
imagined he would go that far. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him.
The
I'm
unforgivable!
going to fucking kill him.
most
Hey, please, if you come out,
unfortunate.
you'll be playing right into his hands.
Hmm?
Actually,
Taka's planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape, don't mean. Taka's gonna try to kill you.
indeed.
And also he can keep her to himself. Bastard. Bastard.
Honestly,
You allow him to continue these barbaric acts? Definitely not. How could I?
I swear
I
I
have to save her.
will save her!
actually,
Would you like to join me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. I devise a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. With that, it is complete. What did you talk about? Oh, nothing. If we agreed without a second thought. The effect that the item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All asking to do was make something to hide from face and general body size. I know that you make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it.
Let's see.
In that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must be tough on your parents, though. I cried.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? She asked me, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that? So you actually let him live.
Are you okay with this?
After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once everyone showed up, I wanted to say he'd be seriously wounded, that he was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. You really believe that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. It was like Hifumi's plan was. While you were all questioning him about what had happened when I was putting him someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi so nobody could stop him. I told him that and he believed. That was very straightforward. I just matched the lie to the level of opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up to the moment of his death.
so in the end,
Yeah, I had to plan to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if someone pretended to be dead did not end up dead themselves.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
I sound like Byakuya.
I wonder
I deserve
about
his
that.
blood from the thrill of the hunt, and I expect we are nothing alike.
Why?
But what made you take things this far?
What the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. And that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape.
But
all along you've been saying how you have to accept living here.
You
Obviously
little
that was a lie.
bitch.
Yeah.
Hey,
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here.
you
I wanted to
little
get out every day
bitch.
with fresh torture. And you want to know why? Huh?
This is
Because I
fine.
had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for
And it
me,
was all for that dream. What was that? What was this dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? To gather handsome men all over the world to serve as my butler/bodyguard. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of aestheticness.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my own dream, my own goal. That's what life is all about. Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be
unfortunately, my
done.
dreams have been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
Just the
You
worst.
sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friend for it?
Oh,
You're asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others from my own enemies. I feel nothing.
do you
That's all there is to
understand?
me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is
That's,
this?
that's what you should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize when you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to live is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. And not just the other people. I can even fool my own emotions. My conscience deceives the unconsciousness. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes,
That's right. I'll
indeed.
fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then,
Isn't it
I could go
wonderful?
like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
hey,
Just get executed again. So I smiled then, and when she did it, she looked at me like a poor effort to force it. It looked to me a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could only fool her own feelings. That's a statement itself. It must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her.
Chills!
All done?
Chills!
All done? Okay.
Chills!
You all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The back end disturbing the peace must pay the price.
Now then,
Nothing.
I've prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Let's give it everything we've got.
It's punishment time.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
good. Celeste has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. The burning of the Versailles witch. Now the fire has been lit. Okay, we do not need that camera anymore. What's with the music? I know it's like royalty music, but still. What the hell? just diving right in. Yes, you do. There you go, no more. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friends, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny at one point I consider her a friend too. My friend just come along and isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and so more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all in the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it is my destiny to knock you down one by one. It is sad, yes it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you gonna make us keep going through this? What do you want from us?
How strange.
God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. Anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
So what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
Answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh.
What?
How exciting.
What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? Am I supposed to simply feel his body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I get out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. Get a lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later!
Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key Celeste gave to you?
so...
Most likely, the key of one of our dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What that means? That's probably hidden in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. You left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As you approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back from us and said,
Hey,
I'm going on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Not exactly. Are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? If she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Sitting here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us.
Goodbye.
Do whatever. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
It's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm going to the dining hall, okay? Makoto and Kyoko are going to go to dinner. I mean what I think it means.
Okay.
Makoto, girls of the crate told you to put I'm trying to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, even me and Kyoko did.
Shall we go?
Oh, shall we? Yeah.
So
We
then,
need to get in the locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And the locker's open besides.
You really came.
Good morning. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. Never thought Kyoko was so relieved. It was like she was from the bottom of her heart. I think what Celeste was asked, we didn't say a word. It was quiet the entire time.
So,
I think I may be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe it's really small. I'm doing my best, so please bear with me. No, we can officially say the case is closed. Before the incident is concerned, sure, but we take a second to figure out this opportunity. I want you to be honest. No, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school?
you...
Is that what you want to hear with me?
However...
No, this is not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know. I just make you even more worried.
What?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation this time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Oh, warning, you found this later. When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural they think that's in the stars and you too. No, I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? You know, obvious people believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to come. I I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
And maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. And
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been suspecting where I've been going. You see, what I've heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. In the storage closet there, way in the back. Way in the back of the boys' bathroom. It's just a normal storage closet, probably as I can tell. See, Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? She was way in the back of the storage closet. I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet. Suddenly, I was being yanked in. Gosh. At the same time I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? Turned out, the back of the wall was like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side, just like the people said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. On the way back of that closet is a secret room. So this is the secret room. What's in here? There's a bunch of files, volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge, the bookshelf will come out. Both speak Academy student work. That's just the only thing that's not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? There's a file in my hand. Before I had a chance to look at it, I stuck the paper throughout the file and I turned my attention to it. What is this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I understand if I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. It's a strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? A strange sound rang through my head. Felt like I was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I don't know how long it had been. Gah. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The old dark pain in my head moved that much, at least. An empty bookshelf. Not empty. Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, even the note had fallen on the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? My brain refuses to do any more work. Persistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain and mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. Yeah. The farther I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting better. I can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that, as if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. I was faint but undeniable. A sound coming from the gym. As I desperately hauled my shaky frame toward the gym, the sound gets stronger. What's going on? Can't be nothing. You're in the gym? And inside. I did make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sound coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much. Towards me, there were rage battles beyond anything humanly possible. No one besides not doing nothing.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but You do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? And it could have been. The mastermind spy is. The next generation living. Stand tall, galactic hero. The end. Oh, seriously? To be continued. Ooh, this is just getting spicy. You see your super role with justice. Sure, save. Neon killed Sayaka. Monokuma killed Junko. Neon got executed. Mondo killed Chihiro. And then he got executed. Hifumi killed Taka and Celeste killed Hifumi. Then she got executed. And that brings us up to now. The next morning in the dining hall, the day after Celeste's case. And now there's only 5 of us here. Only a third of the number of people we started with.
Indeed.
Loneliness has become commonplace. That's true. Still, what did I see yesterday? I don't understand. Naku is the mastermind spy? Can that really be true? But are you okay? No, I'm fine. Just bring it up in front of the others. I did that. Just confused everyone that much more. Okay, in that case, let's eat till we pass out.
Huh?
What do you mean in that case?
Cause, I
Because
mean...
look how scary everyone looks. It's gotta be because we're all fighting on empty stomachs, right? So you really about you, I'm sure you're all cheered up. So let's eat.
Okay.
We'll fry some fish and donuts and eat till we can't stand up.
What?
Like a deep impact style meter impact extinction level event combination of food.
Huh?
What? Those are both breakfast time top sellers. So, till we can't stand up is part of the problem. After we're done, we need to go to explore.
I see.
That's right, since the last over, new areas are much.
It's true.
Plus, we still have Ultra Ego. We don't have to get people in the spirit just yet. That's right, we have to plan ahead and think about the future.
You got it.
Yeah. Think happy thoughts, no deathly thoughts.
You know,
Like we're gonna get out of here, right?
for
When this is
serious.
all over, I think we're gonna reborn for serious. Reborn as someone.
Well...
Are you okay? That sounds like something someone who's about to die would say. I'm totally okay. I'm not gonna die. Why? Because there aren't gonna be any more murders. Huh? What makes you so sure?
According to the
I
spirits,
predicted it last night since it revealed itself to me from the ether? What? In the ether? There's no doubt about it.
However,
How accurate is your fortune telling anyway?
how about that?
I usually hit 20 or 30% on a good day. That seems really low.
It's not like some
Yeah.
occult mystery.
Yeah, it's not like it's ESP or whatever. Of course you're gonna get it right sometimes.
The occult is bullcrap.
Fortune telling isn't like some occult thing.
So,
Fortune telling isn't occult.
You got it all wrong.
Clairvoyance is clairvoyance. Don't put in the same category as cattle mutilation.
Huh?
Cattle what?
So...
According to the urban legend, the aliens were 1,000 invested in the part of the research.
Actually,
They call it an urban legend. As a matter of fact, it's true. As a matter of fact, it happened to me. Up in one day when I went to go get a hamburger. It was a place I'd never been before. They claimed their patties were 100% OD. I got a burger and headed home.
but
Before long,
the end is
I was
nigh.
in a mysterious blinding light.
Some crazy beam came out of nowhere and locked onto my hamburger. And as soon as the beam touched it, the burger started floating in midair.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
And then, still floating there, the entire burger started coming apart. One part of it just vanished, while the rest fell back into my hand. Do you realize what that means? It means the burger wasn't 100% beef. It must have had some pork or something mixed in. Something like 70% pork and 30% beef would be my guess. You can't trick
I was
me.
thrown back into the burger place and got up from the manager's grill and they totally admitted it wasn't 100% meat. They totally mixed some ground pork with it.
How about that?
You see, now that is cute cattle mutilation. I kind of got lost halfway through. I can't tell if you're really a cult or against it. You stink of stupidity.
Don't be mean.
How dare you? Oh, you do stink though. That's fine. Fine. Anyway, hope your prediction turns out to be true. At the very least, I won't murder anyone.
Yeah.
Me neither. I would never.
Of course.
Me neither.
Indeed.
Nor I. But for me too, of course, I could never kill any of my friends. I like those words of encouragement were helping us come together as one. After so much sacrifice and hardship, we finally become united. But,
Well,
to be honest, I wish Byakuya and Toko were here for this too.
But
But they're so hard to deal with. They only think about themselves. Yeah, we're better off without them, I say. That was enough to prove. We were united for the time being, but within that bond hid weakness and fragility. Thank you. Chapter 4. Also, our apologies. We began our search as soon as we finished our breakfast in the dining hall. We had to find out what had opened up and what was waiting for us. You know what? This is where we'll end. Yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't know what to even say for an outro. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.